So, it's peak riding season here in the Southwest and in most parts of the country, and that means tire and tube maintenance. So let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another amazing episode of Toolbox Topic. I'm joined once again by my co-host Brandon Van Leuven. Brandon, how you doing?
Good.
Nice. And we're at Chuck Bicycle Store of West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona, because it's where the cool kids hang out, and me. And as I alluded to in the introduction, we are talking about tire and tube maintenance for your road bike, or your mountain bike, or your gravel bike for that matter.
Right.
Could be a cruiser, you know, because here in Arizona, in the Southwest region, it's amazing right now.
It's perfect.
Oh.
It's cool in the morning, not cold. It's warm in the afternoon. It's not hot. We got about, what, 2 weeks it'll get probably right now?
A month. Memorial Day is the cutoff.
And then it's gonna.
That's the official cutoff.
And then the light switch is gonna flip, and we're gonna be.
Yeah, then we'll be riding like at 3 o'clock in the morning with headlamps on and everything to try to beat the sunrise like vampires because it's so scorching hot here
Right
in
now
Arizona.
it is ideal.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. And we see this around the country right now. The winter thaw is starting to happen in a lot of areas, so we see a lot of riders out there. And one of the biggest, I think, pain points for riders is to get out there, you know, maybe even only a mile into the ride, and something catastrophic happens to their tube or tire setup, tubeless setup. And so here today we're going to talk about some of the things you can do not only to prepare for all your upcoming rides, but some things as far as maybe upgrades, some things you should look for as far as replacements go. Right. And yeah, so let's get started.
I think this is very relevant because
yeah.
I have a bad feeling that this is going to be a terrible flat tire season. All the rain we got. Have you seen all the weeds out there?
Yeah, thorns galore here in Arizona,
thorns
my
galore
friends.
this year. It's going to be really bad, as far as I can tell so far. Right now we're still okay. Everything's still green and soft, but
right, not for long.
not for long. So let's talk about how we can get some protection
Right.
and then take care of our tires and wheels here.
Well, let's start out with the tube riders because not everybody is tubeless, which you should be. All right, down.
If you can.
So obviously we have your standard issue thin tube, but they also make thorn-resistant tubes that have a thicker bottom portion, but are going to add significant more weight to your tire.
They're 5 times thicker. They do add a little bit of protection. However, the maintenance on a thorn-resistant tube is you have to keep those things inflated almost to maximum pressure all the time.
Right.
Because if you don't, and that valve starts to bend, it'll break, and it does not bend, it breaks off because it's so thick at the valve stem where it meets.
Right.
It just breaks off. So air inflation is extremely important with thorn-resistant tubes.
Okay.
These guys, you can be a little lazy and they'll flex, but
not with a thorn-resistant.
Not with the thorn-resistant ones.
So that's a good tip. I actually didn't realize that because of the additional stiffness that it causes it to break and not bend.
Right. Yep.
So
if you let your air pressure go down far enough.
Okay.
And then to supplement to the inner tubes, this stuff works great. You will have to keep up with it.
Right.
The kit that's included here gives you a valve core remover, the tube to put it in, and for our tubed friends, we sell a ton of this, and it's pretty effective.
Now, does the slime evaporate like we see the stands or some of the other tubeless?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's something. Now, does it also get sludgy to where after a certain point you just have to change out the tube because it's turned into a nasty sludge?
I think we just keep adding on top of it.
Till it becomes one thick solid tube.
Yeah, but it's going to get hot. I would tell everybody the heat is going to eventually separate this stuff, and it will become less effective. It thins out. So my
Arizona, like I do it every 4 weeks.
Yeah, my suggestion is every probably 2 months.
Okay.
If you're still doing good, if you haven't gone fast, just throw more on top of this. You can't go
wrong with that.
It. Yep.
Okay.
And they do have suggestions for the amount you should put in per tube.
The whole bottle.
Just put a bunch in.
Yeah.
I gotta give it a good old squirt in there.
When we get to this, I'll tell you the insanity that I have with the stands as far as that goes. So, and then we also see a lot of people use the rhino liners.
Yeah.
Which these help, I think, to an extent.
They're okay. Again, so My problem with rhino liners is people don't keep their air pressure up. Air pressure holds that rhino liner in place. If you don't take care of your air pressure, it starts to move around inside the tube. I can't tell you how many times I've changed an inner tube with rhino liners in there, and that thing is just weaving back and forth, not doing it, maybe doing 50% of its job.
Right.
So again, once it's set in place, keep that air pressure up so it stays in place.
Okay. And then we've talked about this before, the Tannis armor. These work good. Looks like a lower intestine.
We've had great success with those. They're not cheap, and they make your ride quality suffer.
Horrible.
But that's a lot of protection, 15 millimeters of protection.
Yeah.
I've seen very few of these come back, and when they do come back, they usually have like a big old mesquite tree.
Oh yeah,
thorn
the
that's
spike.
gone.
I wouldn't even call that a thorn, dude. That's a
yeah, you're right.
spike.
It's a nail. It's a nail. But we've had great success with them. They are a pain in the ass to put in. It'll make you sweat. But they're
Isn't that a
good.
song by CNC Music Factory? Gonna make you sweat?
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Everybody dance now. Sorry, guys.
Tangent.
I need to go back to friggin' caffeinated coffee or something. Okay, so Tannis have a really good reputation.
Yeah,
as far as
they've done very well. We've been pleased. We don't like putting them in, like I say, but once they're in, you're in pretty good shape.
Right. What about the Cush cores?
What about them?
Brandon hates the Cush cores, and I always have to bring it up when we're talking about this stuff.
Well, the Cush core is more a protection for your wheels,
right?
Which I get, and they work fine. They work good. I just hate them.
Yeah, I just hate. He has no reason to, but he just does.
Well, my reason is because they're a pain in the ass to put in.
So are the Tannis,
They're a
but you
mess,
like these.
But typically, you put one of those in with a tubeless system, and it's just a mess. It's all slippery and. Getting all worked up, just
harass them,
getting all worked up just talking about it.
Right, I know, I can tell. So, okay, so for our tubed riders, there's some good suggestions as far as that goes. Now, when it comes to replacing a tube, obviously it's a rubber and you friggin' fill it up with air and everything, but that rubber is going to degrade over a period of time. Even if you haven't experienced any flats, any type of issues where you got patches on there, because you can do patch kit, same, traditional. How often should someone replace the inner tube of their tire?
I feel like in Arizona, you don't get an opportunity to live a full inner tube life.
To live a full inner tube life.
Yep, nothing. Like that. You will not get that.
Right,
out
because of all the friggin'
Because you'll get a flat. You'll get a
eat
thorn.
us or it wants to stab us.
Yeah, you'll get something else. But I have seen some very, very old inner tubes.
Okay.
They last a pretty long time. In some cases, years. Okay. I know this because sometimes if I have to change one, it's absolutely glued to the inside of the tire, and you got to pull that thing out. It's like, how long has this thing been in here? Possibly years.
Right.
So they do last a long time.
All right. Well, good to know. Good to know. So if you're in an area that isn't as hostile towards its riders like Arizona, consult your local bike shop and see what they have to say. But there you have it. So now let's move on to some of the items for our tubeless riders.
Yep.
We see typically the stands. We have the Bontrager sealant. We have the orange seal.
Yep, those are the three
main ones.
Obviously, we carry Bontrager because we're a Trek store.
Right.
Stands is the most popular.
It's the one I use.
And then Orange Seal is our most requested, had been our most requested one besides these two. So we started carrying Orange Seal.
Why is it most requested? What's the deal with that?
I don't know.
Okay. Is it like all natural or something?
I don't know. It seems to work okay. It's very messy. Once it starts to dry up, it's a very tough thing to get out of your tires.
Okay.
But people love it, and what am I going to do?
Right. You're going to stock what the villagers want.
That's right.
So now, typically, this is a 2-ounce bottle. So typically we see one of these in the front and in the back. Dude, no, I go batshit crazy. I put at least 2 of these in each thing.
In my mountain bike, I would as well.
Yeah. So, I
these
think
were
it's
great.
Just prudent.
Like this would be like a little bit overkill, but one per like one gravel tire, like a 700 by 40 or 38. It'd be a little bit much for that, but I would still.
I'm still going. We're not going to measure that stuff. You're just douching it right in there.
Exactly.
And
but
then the same with the stands.
2.5, 2.6. That's not going to cut it.
No, I put 4 ounces.
Maybe
minimum.
even more. Honestly, I get one of these things. I just go. And then when
shake it around.
When that first squeeze is all the way done, that's when I stop.
Gotcha. Okay, good to know. Man after my own heart when it comes to that. Now, I typically, my experience with the stand is probably about every 4 or 5 weeks, and I just do it at the end of the month, that PM
That's what I suggest as well to take a look at.
Because it starts to evaporate here,
Yeah.
especially coming up here in the summer months. Or ambient temperatures, even at night, are in the mid to high 90s.
Yeah,
So,
yep.
And for you people that store your bikes in your garage, it's even hotter. We see 120, 130
Yeah,
degrees
wow.
even at night as far as parking your car in there and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So
I've been
good idea to
surprised. I've
check.
been shocked how quickly sometimes that sealant can dry up here. I thought for sure, it's only been a month and a half, 2 months. I go in there, it's like nothing left.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
even with how much I use, and I do use more now than I did, so it lasts me a little bit longer. But it is surprising.
Yeah. Now, when we talk about holy smokes, that one was really just...
We haven't done that in a while.
No, we haven't. Safety dance. All right. And we're just going to leave that in there. So, guys, I know, just a quick thing. Here's your opportunity to like and subscribe. So, like and subscribe because we're goofy that way. But sometimes people comment, you didn't edit out that mistake. Or this. Who cares, guys? Again, it's not a Hollywood film. I'm not Stanley Kubrick or Tarantino, trying to direct a masterpiece like Christopher Nolan. It's Toolbox Topic, so these things happen. Carry on. So now when we see for inflation, and we've talked about pumps and everything like that, but a lot of people I notice aren't necessarily carrying pumps or any type of inflation device, which I think is bad because you never know. But the CO2 cartridges, these are great. I actually carry a pump and a CO2 cartridge in case one fails. I've got a backup.
All right.
Because that's how I roll. I know we'll get to what we carry in our packs for 2023 another day, maybe next video.
All right.
But my question is, can tubed riders also benefit from the CO2 inflation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the same stuff.
Okay, that's a question.
It's important to know, I think I mentioned this before, once you have expelled the CO2 and got yourself home, release the CO2 from the tube or a tubeless system, and then put normal air in there.
Right.
The CO2 will leak much faster than air. You'll be flat by the morning if you just leave the CO2 in there.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
And then when, we talk about, do you need special valve stems, obviously, when you're running tubeless, I should say,
Yes.
even though I have my hand on the sealant. And we see that the rim strip tape that goes inside the rim, and there's going to be varying widths, and we did a video on that. Link's going to be up top. And then, of course, we have tires for everybody. Now, I have to say the tires that we ride these days are so much more durable than what I used to ride in my early mid-20s.
Yeah.
And so I almost don't think there's a need for a thorn-resistant tire. I remember the big thing one year, it was like it was a Kevlar beaded mountain bike tire.
Yeah, we still have those. We still have what Bontrager would call a hard case, and multiple variations of that, depending on how much protection you need. But when we're tubeless, especially if we're tubeless, we don't.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of being tubeless as far as that goes. But it just seems commonplace these days for the tires to be such a higher quality.
Right, especially on the sidewall now. They understand that, especially on these Maxxis tires, if you get the double downs and I completely forget what the other version is called, but very tough sidewalls on those. They're heavy. They're heavy tires, but around here when we have those, we're cutting through sharp rocks and stuff.
Especially here in the Southwest. So, but we also have. Pan Eraser, you've got the one tire out there. It's got those beautiful tan sidewalls. Trying to think of the
Pan Eraser makes those Gravel Kings. We have the Bontrager.
The Bontrager. Those ones that friggin' backpacking, friggin' .com. They use the guy friggin' they're named after lakes and trails and stuff like that. Terraval. There you go. Yeah. That's actually a brand that I'm curious to try out. I'm very much a Maxxis person, and anybody who's watched this channel for a length of time knows that. They haven't done me wrong, and here in the Southwest, which is a treacherous place, hostile, that's why I recommend it. The Pan Erasers for the gravel riders and everything, Brandon loves those. He's put those through hell and back, but I'm really curious about the Terraval. So maybe my next set on one of my bikes, I might put the Terravals on there just to see how they do.
A few guys from the shop ride the Terravals. They've had great success with them. I have not used them yet, but those guys that are riding them ride hard, and a lot of times have no regard for themselves or their equipment. So if it gives their seal of approval, then all right.
That's something to take note of. So for sure. So Brandon, as we wrap up, is there anything else that you feel we should be adding as far as preparation for the ride season, PM maintenance during the ride season, so people can have an enjoyable and hopefully stress-free when it comes to their tires, whether it be a tubeless system or a tubed system?
Yeah, I'll say two things about that. First of all, your wheels, your tires, they're gonna let you know when there's something wrong with it.
Right.
It's all about inflation. If you notice one tire is losing air faster than the other, there's something wrong with the system. Either that sealant is gone, the tape has begun to curl up or gone bad, so we have a leak in the tubeless tape, or perhaps something's wrong with your valve. If you're pumping up your tires more often than you're used to, you got to check something out. Something is going wrong.
Right.
So it's a telltale sign. The other thing is, now it's hot in, I have to remind everybody, if you haven't lived here before, do not leave your bike inside the car for an extended period of time. They will explode inside your car, and it is a huge mess. Happens every year.
The tires, not the bike itself, just to be clear.
We've had multiple people come back after buying a bike. They go out to lunch, come back 2 flat tires, or when they're driving, they'll explode because they'll be at such high pressure. Right. Even when the car's cooling down with the AC on, they'll still have a tendency to go. So every time we send one out the door when it's 110, 120 degrees out, we always let the air pressure down, let our customers know. So that's why we do that.
And it's right, that's why we do that. And it's funny, Brandon should mention that. I actually burp some air when I leave my house on the way to the trail, and then I always carry a full-size pump in my truck just in case myself or someone else needs it, and then I'll pump them up to pressure while I'm on the trail, and then when I leave, I'll burp them down.
Stand as well.
Yep,
absolutely.
So good to know. All right, well, there you have it, my friends. Forget everything you should need to know as far as that. If there's any questions, seriously, guys, comment down below. Of recent, we've had some amazing comments, questions, and suggestions for toolbox topics, and those videos are on their way, I can assure you. So at this point, hit the like, subscribe, bell notification icon. It's the trifecta we love here at Get Out Arizona. Helps with the video, helps with the channel. There's going to be links down below. The most important one is for Trek Bicycle Store, West Phoenix, and Goodyear. Give Brandon and his team a call if you have any questions. They'll be more than happy to help you out. There's going to be other links for our social media. It's the devil's work, but it needs to be done. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok gets the word out about Get Out Arizona and our day-to-day affairs. Follow us, show us some love, sharing our daily adventures. I don't know if you really call those adventures, misadventures maybe, I don't know. It is what it is. And then the other links are affiliate links. Why? Because it helps out the channel again with park passes, gas money, and coffee money, the other trifecta that we enjoy so much here at Get Out Arizona. So at that point, my friends, what do we say? Be kind to yourself and others. Seriously, be amazing stewards on that trail. Okay, it's up to you. Be responsible, lead by example. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for?
Get Out Arizona.
Yeah. We'll see you on that next adventure. Take care, everybody. Brandon, we'll see you next week.
Yep.